Did you know that some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs and athletes have something in common that society labels as a disorder? What if I told you that this so-called disability might actually be their secret superpower? Today, we're diving deep into the hidden truth about ADHD that nobody talks about. You've probably heard ADHD described as a deficit, a problem to be fixed, something that holds people back. But what if everything you've been told about ADHD is completely wrong? What if the very thing that makes someone fidget in a classroom is the same thing that allows them to perform life-saving surgery for 12 hours straight without breaking focus? Let me paint you a picture. It's 3 in the morning, and while most people are fast asleep, there's an entrepreneur hunched over their computer, completely absorbed in building the next game-changing app. They haven't eaten in hours, they've ignored multiple phone calls, and time seems to have disappeared entirely. This isn't addiction or obsession, this is hyperfocus, and it's one of the most misunderstood aspects of the ADHD brain. The medical world has trained us to see ADHD through the lens of what's wrong. Can't sit still in class, disorder. Struggles with traditional homework structures, problem. Has trouble following conventional rules, needs fixing. But here's where things get interesting, and where the narrative completely falls apart. Richard Branson, founder of Virgin Group, has ADHD. Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time, was diagnosed with ADHD as a child. Simone Biles, arguably the greatest gymnast in history, manages ADHD while performing death-defying routines that require split-second precision. These aren't people who succeeded despite having ADHD, they succeeded because of what their unique brain wiring gave them. So what exactly is hyperfocus? Think of the typical brain as having a dimmer switch for attention. It can adjust focus gradually, spreading attention across multiple tasks reasonably well. The ADHD brain, however, operates more like an incredibly powerful spotlight. When it's not engaged, attention scatters everywhere, hence the stereotype of distractibility. But when something captures that spotlight, the focus becomes laser-intense, almost supernatural in its depth and duration. This hyperfocus state allows ADHD individuals to dive deeper into problems than neurotypical people often can. While others might get bored or mentally fatigued after an hour of concentrated work, someone in hyperfocus can maintain that intensity for hours, sometimes forgetting to eat, sleep, or acknowledge the outside world entirely. This isn't healthy in every situation, but when channeled correctly, it becomes an incredible competitive advantage. Let's talk about entrepreneurship. Starting a business requires an unusual combination of traits that seem contradictory. You need to be detail-oriented enough to handle complex logistics, yet big picture enough to envision possibilities others can't see. You need to hyper-focus on solving problems, yet remain flexible enough to pivot when things aren't working. You need to be comfortable with chaos and uncertainty, yet organized enough to build systems that work. For many entrepreneurs with ADHD, the traditional corporate world feels suffocating. The rigid schedules, the meetings about meetings, the bureaucracy, it's like asking a race car to perform well in stop-and-go traffic. But entrepreneurship, that's the open highway where their brain can finally show what it's capable of. Take the pressure cooker environment of emergency medicine or surgery. These fields demand split-second decision-making, the ability to hyperfocus under extreme stress, and comfort with controlled chaos. For surgeons with ADHD, the operating room becomes their element. The high stakes, the intense focus required, the need to think quickly and creatively when complications arise, these aren't obstacles for the ADHD brain, they're optimal operating conditions. The hyperfocus state that emerges in these high-pressure situations isn't just concentration. It's a flow state where time distorts, self-consciousness disappears, and performance reaches peak levels. While others might feel overwhelmed by the intensity, the ADHD brain often thrives in this environment, finding the stimulation it needs to function at its absolute best. But here's where our understanding gets really twisted. The same educational system that labels ADHD children as problematic often fails to recognize that these kids might be incredibly gifted in ways that don't fit traditional molds. A child who can't sit through a boring lecture might be capable of spending 8 hours straight building an intricate computer program or mastering a complex musical piece. The tragedy is that by the time these individuals reach adulthood, many have internalized the message that they're somehow broken or deficient. They've been told for years that their natural way of thinking and processing information is wrong, when in reality, they might possess cognitive abilities that are increasingly valuable in our rapidly changing world. Consider the modern economy. We're moving away from factory-style work that rewards conformity and consistency toward knowledge, work that prizes creativity, innovation, and the ability to see connections others miss. We need people who can hyper-focus on complex problems, who think differently, who aren't constrained by conventional approaches. In other words, we need exactly the kind of minds that get labeled as disordered. The tech industry has already figured this out, even if they won't say it explicitly. Silicon Valley is packed with entrepreneurs and innovators who exhibit classic ADHD traits: the ability to become completely absorbed in coding for hours, to see novel solutions to complex problems, to pivot quickly when approaches aren't working. These are ADHD superpowers disguised as symptoms. What's particularly frustrating is how the medical model focuses almost exclusively on managing symptoms rather than developing strengths. Instead of asking how we can help ADHD individuals harness their hyperfocus abilities, we ask how we can make them sit still longer. Instead of exploring how their unique cognitive style might be advantageous, we focus on making them more like everyone else. This doesn't mean ADHD comes without challenges. The same hyperfocus that allows for incredible achievements can also lead to neglecting important but less stimulating tasks. The creativity and energy that drive innovation can also make routine administrative work feel unbearable. But these aren't inherent flaws, they're trade-offs that come with a different type of cognitive operating system. The real question isn't whether ADHD is a disorder or a superpower. It's whether we're creating environments and opportunities that allow these individuals to leverage their natural strengths rather than forcing them into molds that highlight their struggles. Imagine if we started identifying and nurturing hyperfocus abilities in school instead of just medicating distractibility. Picture educational systems that recognized when a student's intense interest in a subject could be channeled into deep learning rather than seeing it as off-task behavior. Consider workplaces designed to harness the innovative potential of minds that think differently rather than demanding conformity to neurotypical standards. The entrepreneurs and surgeons succeeding with ADHD aren't anomalies. They're examples of what's possible when someone with this neurotype finds their optimal environment and learns to leverage their natural cognitive style. They're proof that what we call a disorder might actually be a different way of being brilliant. So next time you hear someone describe ADHD as purely a deficit or disorder, remember the surgeon performing life-saving operations with laser focus, the entrepreneur building companies that change the world, the innovator solving problems others can't even see. Maybe it's time we stopped asking how to fix these brains and started asking how to unleash their full potential. The secret isn't managing the disorder. It's recognizing the superpower that's been hiding in plain sight all along. If you got value from this video, like it and subscribe to our channel.